Guys, and welcome. Today I have a quick and easy tutorial. I am going to share with you how to create this shaker pocket right here. It has a belly band. You can add a pocket to the back of it. I didn't add a pocket to this one, but you certainly can, and it's pretty big, and so you can add quite a few goodies in here, and there's a lot of room to add mix. Look at how much mix is in here, you guys. It's quite a lot, and it still has room for more. Okay, so let's start with our mix. I am going to be using this Buttons Galore and More subscription box. It's really an amazing box, you guys, because you get a lot of goodies for a really great price, and you can use my discount code to get $5 off of each box. You get 7 items in each box. There's 9 boxes a year. You get a surprise gift and I believe a promotional code that you can use on other products that Buttons Galore and More uses. So it's really a great deal. You save money doing it this way, and it's a great way to start to build your stash. So today, that is what I'm going to be using. I want to use these sprinklets. I think they're perfect for creating mixes. So I'm going to use those, and I'm going to use these crystals. They are blueberry, and the name of them is Blueberry, and I think they are just perfect. And then I also pulled some sequin to add to this mix. So we'll start off with the sprinklets, and I'm going to need quite a bit because it's gone. This is called firecrackers, and so I'm going to use quite a bit because of course the pouch is going to be fairly large. And then I'm going to use maybe half of these. I've already used a lot of these on other projects, so you do get quite a few. You get a really good amount of this. So that's what it looks like so far. We'll just mix this around, and you don't really need to add too much to your sprinklets. The only, you can use the sprinklets alone as a mix. The reason I'm adding is because I want to be able to fill up that little pouch that we are going to be making. So I'm going to add some red to this. These are from Cartwright. They are the red 3mm flat metallic. And then I'm going to add these silver 3mm flat hologram. So I think, I'm not too sure about the silver, but I feel like it'll be good. And I always try to pick up everything I spill because you want all of this goodness. You don't want any of it to be wasted. So far we're doing really good. So far so good. I wasn't sure if I should add just like a white opaque sequin, like a flat or a clear, or maybe I should add like a larger white. Do I have a larger white? I should somewhere. Let me see. I found these, which I'm kind of scared to add because they don't look very white, but we'll see how that looks. Oh, that's not too bad. That actually looks okay. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and add some more just to fill her up. We'll add all of that. I didn't even know I had that white sequin. Now this kind of looks really white, so let's add some more red. Oh, you know what, I have some of these red crystals right here. These are called cherry, so I'm going to add some of those, see how that looks. Not too many, because I'm working on a Christmas in July project, so I need some of those reds for my Christmas project. Okay, let's see, more of this red. And I realized that I have no blue sequin, you guys. That's why I was using these. You know what? Let me add some more of my sprinklets. I have this Old Glory sprinklets, and I used some of those for my little star shakers. So I'm going to add some in here. All of that up. Oh, that's going to be a nice amount of mix to fill up that pouch. It's going to be fun. I wonder if I should add like some gold stars to this. I wish you guys could talk back to me and tell me if you think I should add some gold stars. I'm going to use the rest of that. I think this is going to be good. So it's just a lot of red, white, and blue. I think it looks more white than anything else because of those big pieces. But that's okay because of the paper and everything else we're using. I think it's gonna be really good. And I want, these are what we are gonna showcase in our little bag. So I think we're gonna be okay. This should work. Okay, so that's our mix. So we have our mix. This is what it looks like. I have my Avery Elle pouch. This is the 5.5 by 7. And so what I did was just cut off the little flap on here. So I'm gonna fill my pouch. Let me move this out of the way. And then I'm gonna stitch the bottom of it to seal it. So I'm gonna open this up as best I can, and I'll just fill this with my sequin mix. I don't know how much I want in there. Let me see. I wonder if that is too much. This might be too much. Or should I just go for it and fill the whole thing? What do you guys think? Send me your thoughts. By the time you see this, it will be sealed and made already, but we can always cut it open and redo it, right? So I'm trying to get all of this little red sequin out of here. It's sticking to the bottom of the my little bowl. Is that too much, you guys? Because then these are gonna go behind it. And I want you to be able to see this, but I also want this to be filled. I think I'm just gonna seal it. I mean, like I said, we can always just cut it open and start over. So that is what it looks like so far. It's a lot of fun goodness. I love to hear the shake. So I'm just gonna stitch it right here and I will be right back. Okay, so we have our pouch stitched right here. This is gonna be our bottom piece. So this is actually gonna face this direction so that you can't see any stitching on it. The stitching is gonna be hidden. So we're gonna start with our paper. I decided to use this Fancy Pants paper. This is from the Simply Summer collection. It's actually my favorite collection that they have right now. I love the colors in this collection, and it goes really well with these red, white, and blue colors. So I grabbed a 12 by 12 and I cut it down to 8 5/8 by 12. And so I am going to score this, and we're going to score this at a 1/2 inch, at 1, and at 1 1/2. And then we're going to score this at 6 5/8. 6 5/8, 7 1/8, and 7 5/8. And these are the lines that we are left with. So I think I have to cut a little bit off of this side right here, but I don't want to do that just yet. so that I can make sure that my measurements are correct before I do that. Let me fold up on these marks. Oh, well, let me do this bottom part. So this is going to be my bottom piece. Since this design, it doesn't really matter which is top or bottom, I'm just going to go ahead and score on this side, but please keep in mind that the piece that I'm scoring on is the bottom. So if you're using a design paper, you want it to be facing the correct direction. And I'm scoring this at a 1/2 inch, at 1, and at 1 1/2. Okay, and these are the lines that we have right here. I'm going to be cutting these little boxes out. Let me fold up on these score marks and then back. I'm creating my little mountain and valleys. This is kind of like the little summer tote that I created, the little garden tote. I have a tutorial on. It's basically the same concept. And then this is going to go up. And back. And up again. Okay, maybe I don't have to cut up on this after all. I don't know why it looked like I did. Yeah, I think that is correct, right? Is it just that I scored here and maybe shouldn't have? Let me check. Okay, so I see what I did wrong. I did an extra score mark here that I did not need. So on this 8 5/8 side, we're gonna score it at 1/2 inch, at 1, and at 1 1/2. And then we're gonna move to this side and we're gonna start at 7. We're gonna score it at 7, at 7 5/8, and at 8 1/8. And I'll have this in the description box to make it clear. So make sure you check that out before you get started with cutting or anything like that. And then also keep this piece that you cut off of your 12 by 12 because we're going to use that in the end also. Okay, so this is where we're going to cut up. We're going to cut on this score mark right here. We're going to cut this little box that we've created with these scores on both sides. Just like that. This is what we are left with at the bottom. And then we're gonna fold this in just like that, avoiding our last little 1/2 inch. And we're gonna trim this down right here. And so you'll have this little triangle on this right in there, right on the inside. But notice how I did not cut this outer edge. So let's do that again. We're gonna fold this piece over and we're gonna trim this right here. It's going to create this little triangle, but notice how this one is not cut on this side. And the reason for that, let me move this out of the way, is that when we fold this bottom piece up to create the bottom of our pouch, we're going to want this mountain right here to fit into that triangle. So it's going to fit in just like that, and then we're going to close it off. We're going to fold that in just like that and close it off. And that is going to be our little pouch. You are ready to adhere it. This pouch right here, your shaker pouch, is going to fit in here. And that stitching that you did at the bottom is going to be hidden in here. So just like that. This will become our little flap, our little closure. I'm gonna trim this piece off also right here. And I'm just gonna eyeball it. Let me try to fit this in and eyeball it so that I can see where I need to trim off. I'm gonna do a little cut right here, and that's really all I need, I guess, if I use my scoreboard. We'll bring this over and unfold this paper. So let's see how much we're gonna actually cut off. This will tell us right here. I am gonna cut off 3 inches, and only to this first score mark. So 1, 2, 3, only up to right here. I'll see if that makes sense to you. So see, we're only cutting up to that first score line right there. This is gonna be 1, 2, 3, same thing. Now I know that I'm cutting off 3 inches right here. I'm cutting up to there, up to right there. So we're gonna cut these off, and this will be the beginning of our closure. I wish I had my bigger scissors, because with one cut it's off, and then it does like a more straighter cut. Okay, so this is going to be our closure. This is our little bag. We're getting there, ladies. We are getting there, and gentlemen. This will go over like this, and that is our little pouch. Okay, so let's do our strap really quickly, because I'm going to do some stitching. So I want to get all my pieces ready for the stitching. So I'm going to cut from this paper that we had left over from the 12 by 12. I'm going to cut a piece of paper that measures 1 by 11. So I'm going to have to cut 1 inch off of this to get 1 by 11. And we still have this paper left. And this is going to be our belly band that is going to help close off our pouch. Just like this. Isn't this so cute? Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, it's already looking like a little pouch. So I'm gonna do some stitching. I'm gonna take this to my sewing machine and stitch a little detail on this piece, on this outer piece right here, on this outer piece right here, and then I'm also gonna do some stitching on this. I'm not gonna do any stitching on the flap because I'm not actually doing any score marks. I'm just kind of gonna fold it over. So since this is going to have stitching, I think that's all I'm going to do. So let me get my stitching done and I will be right back. I've stitched all of my sides where I'm going to stitch, and I added double-sided tape to these 2 outer edges on both sides. So you can see right here I added double-sided tape to these 2, and then on the bottom I added it to these 2 because that's where we are going to adhere our pouch. So it's gonna go into this piece right here. Trying to line that up. Can't see very well. There you go. That's gonna go just like that. And I'm gonna remove these. Okay, so I'm gonna move this in to here. Trying to line that up with my edge as best as possible. I think I might have moved it a little too much. And you should be using like a strong double-sided tape, like that red double-sided tape. I didn't have any on hand, so I just used some double-sided tape from scrapbook.com, but I would recommend a strong one, because if you're going to be shaking this around, you want to make sure it's not going to come apart, right? Fix this little corner right here. Okay, so that's our pouch so far. We've already glued our edges, and this is what it looks like on the inside. This is going to be our little flap that goes over. I didn't want to score it because I did want to keep it, you know, just rounded like that so that it has room to expand. So this is the little strap that we cut. I'm gonna add some eyelets to this, and I'm just eyeballing this, try to keep them centered. I'm not really good at eyelets because I don't use them too often. I feel like I don't squish them properly. I think it's because I never move this to the size that it needs to be. I always have just left it on whatever size it's on. Okay, so this is gonna be our little belly band. We are going to have this come around just like so. And we are gonna add a little ribbon here to add a little bow right here to close it. So let me cut that off, you guys, and we are done. So I just tied this little ribbon on these eyelets. Once you tie it, you never have to untie it, so you can just take this off, or you can just move it down and open it that way. This is our little pouch in here. You can fit some goodies in there, and then just slide this back up once you are ready to close it, just like that. I think this is so adorable. So you can hang little charms from here. You can add a sentiment right here. You can add pockets back here, maybe a back pocket to add some more goodies. I think this is so adorable. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it inspired you to get crafty today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.